Alright, I might be doing a few random things in this next video. A few random projects. I want a piece of conduit running up to this upper cabinet area for clearance lights, stereo speakers. Also need to run some wiring back to the back of the RV for those clearance lights. That conduit's not going in yet though, because I need to put the ceiling up first. But I want to at least get this piece in, because that's, I was thinking about putting it over here, but it's got a pretty good spot here if I can mount it to the center column. Window support with just some short self-tapping screws. I'm going to heat it up and bend it where I need to bend it, and that'll give me just a nice clean passage to slip wires through up into this upper cabinet. Speakers, clearance lights. I gotta mount a whole bunch of other things up here, so I'm using this nice big thick 1.5 inch conduit here. Then I have plenty of room for adding things up here, doing crazy stuff in the future. And then I don't have to, if I put it here, I don't have to mount it over here where I'll have to run the wires over, up, and then kinda over again, depending on where they're. Yeah, I like the idea of the wires just running straight up the center, and then they can go over left and right, and then travel back. That conduit might be along the side there. Might be where I put that, instead of down the center, because I want some interior lighting. But anyway, I kind of want to get this done and out of the way. So I'm measuring up a 4-foot piece here, 4-foot, 2-foot, or a 4-foot 2-inch piece. And I'm just trying to see if this 1.5 inch is going to be too much of a eyesore right there running down the center of my windows. I don't think it will be, especially when I bend it so I can get up closer. So I just want to make a couple marks where I want to bend things. Got some holes drilled all the way through to the back side. The front side I'm going to open up big enough so the whole screw can go in there, and I can mount the screw from the inside of the pipe. I'll need to go a little bigger than that, but you get the idea. So I can drop the screw in there, screw it in. I'll keep this side that big. Just took a heat gun, got that good and hot, bent it to what I needed. Going to heat up this side so I can get a slight bend to match the window. I'll just heat it up good and hot and step on it with a couple boards on each end just to give that slight bend. Gave that a light sanding, got it painted. Worried about that being too much of an eyesore, but that looks just fine. Is on there solid. I like it. Didn't think I was going to like it too much with all these kinks from the heat bending. But that'll work just fine. Doesn't look too bad at all. And some of this will get covered up when I put a panel up here, and I can beautify that a little more, but I don't really care too much. That'll work perfect. I mean, I expected some kinks, but that's a little more kinky than I was thinking. But it works. I can still slip wires through that. I got the conduit big enough, so a couple kinks won't matter too much. Probably reduced the size of the pipe by half. Reduced the usable size of the pipe by half, but I can still slip plenty of wires through here, as well as like a bigger 10 gauge if I want to send power up here for ham radio or CBs or televisions. Yeah, so now that I got this in, I can run up a power wire for the marker lights, for one for the dome lights, a couple sets of wires for the speakers. Run it right through that conduit. I do need to cut out a notch in the dash and a notch for this panel, but that won't be too hard. I will do that later. Just wanted to get in the conduit for running the wire. Yeah, that turned out great. I like it. Definitely got a DIY look to it, but it's exactly what I wanted. Okay, next thing I think I want to do is pull this dash, or this panel, dash panel, switch panel. So I'm gonna need to pull out all the switches, label them beforehand, make sure they go back to where I want them to go. And then I think I'm gonna paint this olive green. I got a can of olive green a while ago and I like it. I like the olive green and haven't had a reason or anything to use it on since. All right, that's good and dry. And I think I'm going to try something a little different for the paint, for the color. I like this gloss fern or GLS fern. I can't imagine what else that means. GLS, gloss fern, fern green. I like it. I'm gonna use this. I was thinking this would be nice if it was a shade or two darker for the dash. Kind of got the idea that I might spritz it with some black, just see what that looks like. And then I started thinking maybe I should just drip drop it on there. That might look kind of cool with some kind of pattern. Anyway, I'm gonna get creative here. We'll see how this turns out. I could always paint over it if I don't like it. Need to go get another can. There we go. Got a used one here that should work from an old can. Much better. Yeah, I do like that fern green, gloss green. Gonna try a little test spot here of what of my idea. See if I even like it. Try to get a little drip on that. It's kind of cool. I think I might like it a little better if it was just maybe not dripping. Went looking for an old paintbrush because I figured it'd be better at flinging the droplets, but instead found an old basting brush, which I think might actually work a little better. Doing a little test on the backside of this, and yeah, I think I like it. Still seems kind of busy though. I don't know if I want such a paint job for this dash where I'm gonna have switches. That might kind of end up getting, you know, I might end up blending in with all the dots. But I do like that. That looks good. All right, I'll think about that a little bit. Let's do the front side. That's looking pretty dang good. I don't think I'm going to try putting any patterns on it. It's just too busy for a switch panel. I like it though. I really like the drops. I'm not so much a fan of the dripping style. That kind of reminds me of like the graffiti at a skate park or something. I like it, but I like the drops more. Not so much the running drips. Like that looks pretty cool. Got a overspray up here, but yeah, that looks kind of cool. I'm still half tempted to do it. Just can't quite make up my mind. I keep going back and forth. I can't make up my mind, but I'm leaning toward doing it. I think I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it. Just plain green or just all one color. Just having it all one color is don't think that's working for me. I don't know. Yeah, I do like that pattern. I just I guess I could always repaint it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Not getting the GoPro, am I? Let me see, is that good? Yeah, I think I like that, actually. All right, yeah, I'm glad I did that. That looks cool. Little custom, little artistic flair there on that dash. I like it. It's cool. All right, gave it a clear coat, which looks pretty good. That looks cool. I like it. Alright, cleaning up this front cab area, getting ready to do a little more primering, cover up some of this caulk job, paint over it. Need to paint this, need to finish painting this front cab area up there against the firewall. I need to trim off some of these self-tapping screws that are poking out. So I'm gonna knock those off with the angle grinder. I'll get this all painted. Almost there. While that paint dries, I've been scraping off old caulking off of this window. Well, back in the day when I was first boondocking, I didn't realize these RV windows, well, these aren't seals. These are just here to hold the window in. They might seal out a little bit of water, but those, I had a leak at the window, and it got me thinking it was leaking somewhere from the window itself. It was actually leaking down from the roof. So I caulked things up in a desperate attempt to get the leak to stop, but this did nothing except make a huge mess, so I'm cleaning this up as well. While the paint dries, it's kind of a nightmare. So I'm going to scrape off all this old caulk. Hopefully make the window open again, functional again. Need to blow out a bunch of junk. I'm also going to cut off this front lip. They both have this lip here on the front edge. You can see it better on this one. This one just got cleaned up. Old stuff scraped off, at least mostly. I'm going to take a wire brush to the back side of this, clean it up a little more when the time comes. For right now, I'm just doing kind of a quick clean. And yeah, so there's this weird little lip here, so these side window caps can tuck in to here if I remember right. But now I need them to lay flat, so I don't have this weird, because it's causing the window to tilt and not lay flat up against the RV where I want the seal to be. So this little lip here makes this weird kind of thing. And so I'm going to take a cutting wheel and just run it inside this gap, and hopefully that'll be easy enough to take off. Just spent the last 45 minutes trying to get this horrible freaking silicone off of this rubber, scraping it and rubbing it. Seemed like using the dull edge of this putty knife worked the best, but then I started thinking maybe a wire wheel would work, and sure enough it takes it off like nothing. I'm like, what? I've been messing with this for so long. This is awesome. Right off. Oh my God. So awesome. Can't believe how good that works. Spent so much time scraping it. Wonder if I could use a wire wheel on the window. You do have to be a little careful because it will scrape it up, but surprisingly not too bad. And you just have to lightly touch that wheel with it. God, that's nice. Didn't think that stuff would ever come off. So I was gonna use a razor blade and just scrape that off. I guess I still will. Probably be best. A brand new clean razor blade. razor blade works pretty good. It doesn't get all of it though, but I'm not too worried about it. This window isn't perfect. Just want to clean up some of this messy, nasty looking caulking job, but I don't know. Might still try the wire wheel. I just think that's gonna scratch the glass. Such a mess I've made. Yeah, I think they just scratched the glass just a little bit. Or that's the silicone. It's getting off though. It's making a dusty silicone, grainy silicone mess. But it's working. It's working a lot faster than trying to get that off the hand. Yeah, I think the blade works just a little bit better on the glass. And the smaller rubber trim's getting chewed up a lot more by the wire wheel. Maybe it's because I'm using the one on the drill that's a little more aggressive or something, but I could probably, that's not stuck as hard, so I think I'll pull that out. Scrape this off my hand. This newer stuff's coming off pretty nicely. The clear silicone. I used some other silicone that was not very UV resistant, so it turned yellow. But this is rubbing off nice. Or the silicone's just not sticking to this rubber as bad as the thicker piece for some reason. But that's coming right off. Yeah, never doing this again. Jesus Christ, what a mess. Alright, this window's done. Looking much better. Still needs a pressure washing, and I'll have to pull this window out to get the caulking on the back side of this, but that's alright, I'm not too worried about that. It should open now. And 98, maybe 97% of that caulking is removed, so that's awesome. Alright, got all the caulking off both these windows. Awesome. Been wanting to do that for a while now. And this window now opens, which is also great. Yeah, it's much better, much better. Now they just need to be washed, pressure washed. But we'll get all that done on the when it comes time to seal them in. Take them down one more time, clean them up real good, and we'll stick them in permanently, and should be looking pretty good. I'll cut off these edges later. Feels like it's about to rain, so I'm gonna get some of the tools brought in, and yeah, we'll save that. I'll cut that next time the windows come down. Boy, this stuff is cool looking when it separates. Got a new mixer I'm gonna try out. All right, another day of this messy painting job. I am all done. Decided to come out and paint the front since there was a few spots where I used some seam sealer and it was cracking. It seems like it doesn't like the sunlight. So I thought I'd paint it for that reason. Also, there was some bare spots of metal. Probably wasn't too necessary since everything was underneath a cap and not really constantly getting water on it, but I thought I'd primer everything anyway. Front part of the cab done. Up inside this cabinet area, which is just kind of a void for nothing. Probably just gonna spray a bunch of foam in there, insulate it. But it's all painted inside there. Everything painted around up inside here. This is where I'll put in the vent intake for fresh air. Yes, painting, my least favorite job. Unless it's with a sprayer or if I'm being artistic with it. Just painting surfaces. It's definitely not my favorite. So everything's painted, a double coat in a lot of places. Everything painted up here and behind the wiring, underneath the wiring. Looking fantastic. Glad to finally have that cab completely painted. I'll paint that fan shroud too at some point. I'm not too worried about it. Do that later. All right, so let this sit for a day, another day. But it is all done. Took the window out to paint this corner. That got caulked. Painted all the brackets. Top and bottom are the mounts. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Put that back on in a second. The engine cover can probably go back on. Now, the only thing left to finish up this video is get that dash panel put back in. That got another clear coat because I figured it was all done curing or drying. I set it face down on my computer chair, or rested it up against the computer chair. When I went to pick it up, it felt sticky. And there was a line left in the clear coat. I was like, what the frig? Stupid clear coat isn't drying very fast or just staying softer. I don't know. Anyway, this is the second day. So I gave it a clear coat and it's now on the second day of sitting out in the sun, keeping it hot, bringing it inside at night in the bedroom where it's warm, bringing it back. That's my mango. So yeah, might give that another day or just let it finish off its day in the sun today. like it. That looks awesome. Looking good with all those switches put back in. High-low wipers, left turn, right turn, left turn. Hazards. Lockout key for this push start button, just so I don't accidentally hit that instead of the kick down button. That's what that is. Compressor, ignition, fuel pump, park, lights, low beams, high beams. Mounted solid. I like it. That's cool. Let's get this windshield wiper linkage greased up before I forget. Get these little things put back on too. Alright, get that back in, good and solid. Get positive, negative. Negative. Power connections. We got our signal connections. Speedometer. Alright, gauge is hooked up. Gauge pod, I still have these two lower transmission oil temperature and backup coolant gauge, or secondary coolant gauge. Let's hook up the speedometer, first time in years. Alright, speedometer hooked up. That gauge pod is fully installed. Love to see it. That looks great. Run these wipers around a couple times, get that grease spread around. That's weird spot where it goes faster. I wonder if that's not the right way to hook this up with constant power. It's like I need a fancy switch that in its off position, it makes a connection to this wire. Cause I had a feel, that's why I put the relay in there. I had a feeling it'd be kind of a weird thing to do, having power to both high and the park wire or low and the park wire at the same time. It functions without any other positive connection. You just connect positive to park. It's weird, it didn't do that before. I remember. Half tempted just to put a little button right here for the park, or just disconnect it all together. This is the park it with the switch. Yeah, because it doesn't sound like it likes it. I don't think that's the right way to do that. It's weird though, because it didn't do that before. Yeah, I think having two wires powered at the same time is causing that to go faster than it should in the park, or through the park position. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I think the best situation for this would be like some kind of custom switch that off makes a connection to the park, then you got high and low. Yeah, I might disconnect that. Not sure if that's good for the motor. It's probably fine. It just sounds weird. It's gonna bug me. All right, got those gauges put in and that's looking amazing. All finished on the dash panel. I like it. And these really complete the whole thing. I like the look of those Bosches. They're pretty cheap and they're not adjusted right. I'm pretty sure there is a way to adjust them. When you remove the light bulb on the back, it looks like there's something inside there that I could twist with a flathead. Hopefully that is an adjustment screw. But if I remember right, they are set a little high. So I'll mess with those later. They're mostly there for me to get an idea when temperature rises or if temperature spikes. That's transmission, that's coolant, the second coolant temperature. From that one, I got that because it'd be nice if these were adjusted, then I could see an actual reading instead of just, just cold and hot. A couple lines that don't really tell me much. So yeah, I'll adjust those later. See if they work. Let's turn the key on. Yeah, looks like they are doing their thing. All right, all done with the dash. There's going to be a lot of future things I do, like adding indicator lights. I might cut like a rubber hose and stick that over the top of this so the upper dash panel doesn't flop around and smack that while I'm driving. It's gonna look pretty unfinished as far as like corners, edges, seams. The top dash it goes around this, but it doesn't really fit to it. Like if it had all the trim and I'd like to put something on top of it, maybe carpet, maybe I'll try my hand at fiberglass work, or maybe do something with some foam and then seal it up, fiberglass it or something. Because it's just a flat panel right now, just a flat steel panel that's missing its padding and its structure, its outer covering. So it's gonna look pretty unfinished for a while, but that's something I'll deal with later on. I do get the park lights hooked up as well. So that dash is all ready to go for now. I'll do modifications in the future after we get on the road. But I like it. That is sweet. Ready to go on that dash panel. Gauges, everything, all hooked up. All right, you guys, stay tuned. Lots coming up, but we are getting very close to getting this thing roadworthy. A few more things to do up front, then I can put the cap on. A few more things inside, then I can start doing the roof or the ceiling paneling. Put up some plywood. That's going to be kind of an expensive job though, because I want to get that spray foam. I want to spray the back side of the panels before I put them up, so the foam can fill in the gaps from an uneven roof. That's the theory anyway. I'm not sure. The stuff is so expensive for that quantity and with the kit. So I don't know if that will be coming up next, but that is high on my list. I really want to finish the ceiling, and then I can start doing the walls. Get the insulation installed for the walls, panel up the walls. Once the insulation and all the paneling is done, front and back, that'll be a big relief just to have that done, and then that'll be going to be one of the last, I think, big jobs on the interior. Framing the bed, the truck bed part, the flatbed. I don't think that'll be too big a deal. It's gonna be simple. A simple framework with some wood paneling, sheets for the surface, maybe some D-rings so I can tie stuff down, maybe some walls on the outside. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple though for now. Either way, I'm really looking forward to getting that insulation all done and walls paneled up. Oh, I also might move on to the fenders. I want to get these fenders made. I'm pretty sure I want them to be removable, because that opens up a big old area for me to get in there and work on the engine if I need to. I really like that. I could always just take the tire off, so I don't know if I'm going to make them removable or not. And then I'm going to move on to the side skirts. Just a little more framing with a 1.5-inch square tube. So few more big jobs left to do, and then we start picking away at the little things. Getting really close. I can feel it. I'm getting really excited. Can't wait to get this RV roadworthy. Let's see how our patch is back out on the road again in her new form. Alright, thank you for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. Lots coming up.